My character, Savannah, was, she's the sister to the guy Murphy, who was killed in World War II. And she was able to escape Magnolia, Mississippi, and actually go out and work in Pascagoula, Mississippi, in the shipyards. And so she kind of got a taste of the outside world. But when her brother was killed, she had to come back home and take care of her mother and kind of just make sure the house was running, because her mom really wasn't functioning anymore. And so she's a little bit conflicted in that she's had this taste of the outside world and she wants to go back out there, but because of her, duty to her family, she's really kind of trapped. She feels trapped. And so that's kind of where we find Savannah in this movie, is this conflicted type character. Working on set was, it was one of the most wonderful but most intense things I've ever done. This is actually the first movie I've ever done. I've done lots of theater and things like that, so I was not in any way prepared for being on a movie set or really how things went. But at the same time, it was just such an amazing group of people that came together. Just kind of, it was, I really can't imagine a better crew. And then working with my dad, of course, it's very, I had been in on this project with him since he first told me he wanted to tell this story. I mean, we originally started out saying, we're gonna do, maybe a 30-minute short or something, and just do this movie, tell the story. And then it just transformed into, okay, we have these other actors in, and okay, we're taking it full length, and oh, wow, we have a crew, and we have a budget. And so it just, as it snowballed, it got to be just something completely different than I ever thought it would be. But it was wonderful. I mean, it was truly one of the most wonderful experiences I've ever had. It was really fun. Working with Corey, I was very overwhelmed by that. I came from doing local community theater, and then I remember after doing the first read-through, sitting there next to him, and here he is, this actor. He's an actual actor, and I remember leaving the read-through, and I went home and I sat on my couch and just thought, I can't do this. I'm gonna be found out. They're gonna find out I'm not really an actor. But Corey was so great. Like I told him, the next time I saw him, I said, look, I'm really intimidated to do this. This is my first time, and he was great. He said, let's rehearse. He said, I want the rehearsal just as much as you do. And we did. We got together pretty much every day for about 3 weeks and just rehearsed and rehearsed. And so by the time I got on set with him, I felt so comfortable and so in tune with him that it was just such a great experience being able to act with him. A real honor, really. I remember sitting down with my grandmother, and she went through the letters that her mother had written to her and to my great uncle Murphy. And I remember so clearly just how I couldn't imagine this kind of tragedy ever happening to me. And reading that and reading them with my grandmother, who was there, and this was her brother, I just remember that intensity, and I was able to draw on that, which was great. It was really, I would always picture that when, because Murphy is this kind of unseen person throughout the whole movie, but yet I was able to draw on that and put myself in that place, and it was very effective. It would make me very emotional. I think that the way Savannah changes is that she goes from feeling a little bit hopeless about her situation and being back in her hometown and never to leave again, and she kind of realizes that there is a world outside that she could rejoin. It's not, she's not ultimately responsible for anybody's well-being except for her own. And she kind of comes to that through Mazzilli coming to the town, and they were just having somebody to talk to that was more on her level than really anybody else in the town was. I think that people are going to really connect with this story. I think that it's probably going to be one of the better local films ever made here. I mean, it has a different feel to it than a lot of local films that I've ever seen. And it's a great story, and I think that it's going to just be the first in a line of many movies for my dad.